Have you felt like you've been stuck in a cycle of trying to budget and failing, trying to budget and giving up, starting over and failing again? I have good news for you. It doesn't have to be that way. And today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to be successful at budgeting once and for all. Let's go. Hey guys, my name is Kristin. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know what's up with my lighting today. I have switched around my whole office. I showed that to you guys. This lighting should be amazing. I think I need a USB extension cord. Is that a thing? Because I have this light, but it can't reach any of my outlets. Hold up, I'll be back. Okay, so good news. That's definitely a thing, and I totally just ordered one. And I got my light working for today. So we're good to go. I am here today to help you be successful at budgeting. One of the things I hear most often is from my readers or my viewers who are really struggling with being successful at budgeting. But I'm here to tell you that just like with anything else, budgeting takes practice. Becoming good, becoming a success at budgeting, it's not an overnight thing. So you are not alone. If you are struggling with budgeting, if you feel like you suck at budgeting, you're not alone. And I want to share with you 5 tips today that are going to make a huge difference in the success of your budgeting journey. Now, before we get started, I do want to let you know that I offer a completely free budgeting email course on my website, senseandpurpose.com. I'm going to leave the link down below in the description box. If you are brand new to budgeting or if you need to completely reset and start from scratch, head to that link, sign up for my free email course. You will get 1 new email every day for 5 days, and it's going to walk you through every single step from beginning a budget all the way through to helping you pay off debt. Now, this is going to help you whether you're a complete beginner or whether you're someone who's budgeted for a while but is just still having trouble finding their stride. So go ahead and check that out. I think you will find it very valuable. And now let's get into the tips. So the first principle on budgeting success, if that's what we're calling these, I don't know, tip principles. The first one is you need to make a mindset shift. Now, I did a video all about changing your mindset. I'll link that up here and you can check that out. But here's the thing, guys, when it comes to budgeting, most of us have preconceived notions, right? Maybe we've seen our parents budget in the past and fail, or get in fights over money all the time. Maybe we've tried budgeting ourselves and failed and felt discouraged or felt frustrated. Maybe we've seen other people in our lives try to live on a budget and they just seemed miserable. So I think what happens is so many of us have this perspective that budgeting is restrictive, that budgeting is going to make it so that you can't enjoy your life or your hard-earned money, that budgeting is going to keep you from doing all of the things that you love or buying the things that you love. And the first step in becoming a successful budgeter is really shifting that mindset and changing your perspective. So what I want you to really do is focus on the things that budgeting can give you instead of the things you think budgeting is taking from you. So here's what budgeting can give you. It can give you freedom. It can give you permission to spend. It can give you a plan for saving up for something that you otherwise felt like you couldn't afford. It can give you vacations. It can give you a savings account overflowing with money. It can give you investments. It can give you security. It can give you financial freedom. It can give you a future. It can give you hope. So all it takes is really just changing your perspective, changing the way you're viewing budgeting and taking it from a negative to a positive. And I really believe that that is the very first step. And if you can't make that change, if you can't make the switch from looking at budgeting to this nasty B word that's going to make you miserable in your life to looking at budgeting as a financial tool that's going to help you reach all of your goals, I don't know if you can ever truly be successful at budgeting. So focus on that for your very first step. Tip number 2 is know when to pivot. Now, I would love to insert that Friends clip of Ross moving the couch, but I don't want this video to be demonetized. So just picture it, just visualize it in your head. Here's the thing, guys. I think however we learn to budget is where we feel like we need to stay. I'm a big believer that there is not just one way to budget. And as with so many other things in life, losing weight, training for a marathon, getting in shape, there are so many different ways that people can get to the same destination, right? We don't all have to take the exact same path. So if you have tried budgeting over and over and over, and you have failed consistently, I really want you to give yourself permission to pivot. Just stop what you're doing and move in another direction. Now, I don't mean don't budget, of course, especially because this video is about budgeting. What I want you to do is seek a different method. So there's so many different ways to budget. You can budget on a monthly basis. You can budget on a bi-monthly basis. You can budget every single time you get a paycheck. You can budget for an entire year at a time. However you want to budget, it really doesn't matter. The point is that you're doing it, right? And if you're able to find a way that works better for you and your pay schedule and the way you manage your money, you are like 1,000,000 times more likely to be successful. And that's a real statistic. Budgeting is not a one size fits all. Remember, your budget is never going to look like my budget, or it's never going to look like your friend's budget or your parents' budget. We're all at different stages in our lives. We all have different income, different expenses, different things going on in our family, and we're all at different financial stages and have different financial responsibilities. Feeling like you have to budget the exact same way as I budget or your friend budgets, it just doesn't make sense. And it's simply not true. So if your budgeting game is always off, if you can never seem to get it right, I think it might be time to make a change. And going back to touch on again what we were talking in step number 1, sometimes it just takes a mindset shift or a different perspective when you're looking at your budget as a whole as well. In fact, I have a very good friend who is in the same budgeting space. She has just come out with a brand new budgeting course, and this course is completely different from any other budgeting course I've ever seen before. I'm going to leave a link down below so you can check it out and get all the information on this course, because if you have been looking for a resource, if you have been looking for something to help guide you through this budgeting process, maybe something more in depth than my 5-day free budgeting course that I touched on earlier, this course is a full course. It has 4 jam-packed modules with lots of videos and lots of printables. But the best thing about this course is she has a completely unique perspective to budgeting than anybody else I've ever seen. So if you don't feel as though you're a numbers person, if you feel like you get confused with all the numbers, or maybe tripped up in the way you're supposed to organize your expenses each month, take a look at this course. And I think you'll find this a very refreshing perspective on how to budget. And the whole premise of this course is to teach you to budget in a way that is going to support every single thing that is important to you in your life. I really think you guys will like it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I'm going to leave the link down below. You can check it out and get all the information. And I think you guys will really find value in this course, especially if you feel like you've tried budgeting all of the other ways and they're just not working for you. Tip number 3 is find your tribe. So when you are really embarking on this financial journey, it can be really lonely. Sometimes it feels like you've already spent your teeny tiny restaurant budget for the week, and all of your friends are going out to fancy dinners every single weekend, and you can have FOMO, and you can feel lonely, and you can feel like you're deprived and you're the only one that can't do all the things. But I just want to point out to you, the reason you're feeling this way is because you haven't found your tribe. Budgeting is better with others. I promise you, especially if you're doing it alone and maybe you either don't have a spouse or a partner, or maybe your spouse or partner just isn't quite on board yet with your new budgeting fascination. Get outside the box a little bit and find some people that you can connect with. This was a complete game changer for me. When I somehow stumbled across the debt-free community on Instagram, it made such a huge difference for me. I finally found people that were on the same journey as I was, that were sharing the same struggles and the same information. And it made me feel like I had so much support and so many virtual people to lean on when I didn't have the real people to lean on in my real life. Now, that's not to say that my family and friends aren't supportive. It's just that they don't budget and they're not doing the same thing with their finances as we are, and that's okay. But it's proven that when you do things together with a group, your success rate goes up. So I want you to get out there, find a way, whether it's just watching YouTube videos here on my channel and connecting with people in the comments, or maybe another personal finance blogger or vlogger that's doing the same thing on YouTube or on their blog, connecting with their readers or their viewers, or hopping over to Instagram and finding people there. You can even check out different Facebook groups, connect with people and share ideas and share your struggles and share your frustrations and get support. And that will make a huge difference on whether or not you are successful in your budgeting journey. Now, if you are enjoying this video, I would love if you would give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I make more videos like this. I would be so grateful to have you as part of my family here on YouTube. Tip number 4 is be consistent. Listen, guys, you can't achieve anything if you're giving up. Remember, consistency is key. So if you're doing a budget one month and then you're not really sticking to it, and then maybe you don't even bother to budget the following month, and then you try to get back on and you start budgeting again, and maybe you kind of do that budget halfway, you have to be consistent. Now, I'm not saying you can't mess up. It doesn't matter if you don't mess up. Trust me. I have shared this before on my channel. I have been budgeting consistently every single month for almost 3 years. In fact, the end of this month will be, I think February in 2017 was the very first month we started budgeting consistently. I still mess up every single month. It's okay. It's okay if you mess up. It's really part of the process. Dave Ramsey suggests it takes at least 3 consecutive months of budgeting to get it right. And I'd even go out on a limb to say sometimes it takes more than that, because I still have months with all of my systems set up, filming videos each month of my budget for you guys, using my own spreadsheet and my binder and doing all of the things. I still have months where I forget like the most basic expense that's coming up, or I'll forget a birthday or soccer signups. Show yourself grace. You cannot give up just because you mess up. You have to get back on the horse and you have to keep on budgeting. And it's a process, guys, but I promise every single month you will get a little bit better, and you're going to see the progress if you're consistent. And my last tip for you today, tip number 5, is remember the big picture. It can often feel discouraging when you're just looking month after month and maybe you're not seeing a ton of progress. But here's the thing. Budgeting is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I know that sounds really cliche, but it's really true. If you're going to really get into budgeting, it's kind of a lifelong commitment. Right? Now, your budget's going to change a lot throughout your life. It's going to become easier to budget as you get better. You're going to become more efficient in your budgeting process. Your budget is going to loosen up over the years as your expenses decrease or your income increases. you're going to see a lot of changes, but did you know that the majority of millionaires actually live on a budget? Now, of course, their budget looks a heck of a lot different than mine or even yours may, but the point is they are doing some type of budgeting every month. They are paying attention to their money and their spending every single month. So budgeting is something that you should really strive to make a lifetime habit. It's not something that you want to do 2-3 months and be like, oh, well, I'm not debt free yet, so I guess this budgeting thing isn't working. It will work, I promise you, but you have to give it time to work. So you have to really look at it as a big picture. Take some time, set some goals, talk about your dreams. And I talk about this a lot on my channel, but taking the time to really set some short and long-term goals are going to help keep you motivated to keep going for the long haul, right? So the short-term goals are going to be the quick wins, the things that continue to motivate you on the shorter term, knocking out those debts or saving up for a particular expense in a sinking fund, or actually having the money when your car breaks down. Those shorter term goals are going to help you see progress and keep you excited about the budgeting journey as a whole. But setting the long-term goals and kind of sketching out the big picture of how you want budgeting to serve you and serve your finances over the next year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and even further down the line is really going to keep you motivated for a lifetime, right? You're going to become intrinsically motivated. You're going to stick to it because you're going to see that this is what is helping you work towards financial freedom. And this budgeting process is what is allowing you to design this life that you love. So those are my 5 tips to help you become successful at budgeting. Thank you so much for watching today. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Which tip do you think is going to be the most helpful to you? Or do you already do all these tips? Or hey, maybe you even have a better tip. If so, I would love to hear it down in the comments. Again, if you're not currently subscribed to my channel and you found any value in this video today, I hope you'll consider subscribing because I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye-bye.